Hey guys, Raven Master 22 here. Just a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Thought I'd do a deck profile on the deck I've been running. This format I have been running Naya aggro. Now this deck has kind of been like a blitzy to a mid-range kind of deck. It usually has a pretty good opening when it starts off, just with a lot of 2-drops. Then goes into stuff like all your 3-drops and 4-drops, but I'll get into the deck here pretty quick. So, all right. So for 2-drops, have a playset of Burning Tree Emissaries. I really like this card. Basically, it allows for quick and powerful opening plays. Usually you can drop this card and then drop another one right after it. And then a lot of people aren't going to this card right now. They're usually like playing cards like Shringaroot Geist. But I prefer to run Burning Tree Emissary right now just because of the fact of how explosive it is and getting a creature on the board that can deal damage. And then dropping another one that can deal damage in the same turn almost too is pretty valuable. There's a lot of value there. And the creature that I usually like to drop after that is Flinthoof Boar. Run a playset of Flinthoof Boars. He is a 2-for-2, but usually comes in as a 3/3 if you control a mountain. You can spend a mountain mana to give him haste, which is a really good thing too. Usually you can go into both of these in the same turn, and it's pretty tough for people to get around that opening, just because of how big he can actually get for just 2 mana. He definitely puts a lot of pressure on. Next, I'm running 2 Voice of Resurgence. Really great card in aggro and in control. I don't know what Magic was thinking when they printed this, but I mean, it's just so good because it puts a lot of pressure on just for 2 mana. I guess that's why it's a $60 card, and it's only why I have 2 of them instead of a playset. Usually you'd be running him in 4s just because of how good he is, but I'm only running him in 2s because I was only able to pick up 2 so far. So, but basically, every time your opponent casts a spell during your turn or when he dies, you get a green and white elemental token, and its ability is its power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. So if you drop a Burning Tree, then a Flinthoof Boar, turn 2, and then turn 3 go into him, it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent because all of a sudden now you have a board full, and it can really start to put a lot of pressure on them to try and take things out. You can start swinging in fast. This deck doesn't run any mana dorks. The only mana dork I do run, though it's kind of like a mana dork I guess, is Gyre Sage. I'm running 3 Gyre Sages. I really like this card just for the abilities. That every time a creature comes into play that has a power or toughness greater than Gyre Sage, you can put a 1/1 counter on it, and then you can tap her to basically add a green mana to your mana pool for each 1/1 counter on her. So let's say you go, what I really like to do, especially for opening plays, is you go Gyre Sage turn 2, and then turn 3 you drop a Burning Tree Emissary. You'll put a 1/1 counter on your Gyre Sage, and then drop the Flinthoof Boar after that, and that'll put another 1/1 counter on your Gyre Sage, allowing you to set up for some of your bigger creatures on turn 4. And I'll get into those in a second. Usually they have to take her out. I've noticed people have to take her out, or she just gets too ridiculous. It's because she can get really big with a lot of the creatures that are in here. I really like how Naya aggro has a lot of creatures that are worth a lot of value for little mana. It just makes the deck really work in this format right now. A lot of people, they'll run 1-drops like Avacyn's Pilgrim to add white and stuff. I just prefer her because she can be an attacker too. and she can give you that kind of push when you need a mana. Alright, so that's it for the 2 drops. Going to the 3 drops next. To start off, everyone knows who this dude is. This is Loxodon Smiter. Running a playset of Loxodon Smiters. He's a 4/4 for 3 mana, and usually if you don't have a Flint Hoof Boar, you can set up for a turn 3 play by playing a Burning Tree Emissary and then going into Loxodon Smiter, which is pretty decent if you don't really have much. It's another reason why I really like Burning Tree, just because of the explosiveness of her. Still like debatable for how good she is, but anyway, back to 3 drops. He can't be countered, which is really nice, with a lot of control decks kind of frowning upon him. They don't really like the fact that they can't get over this. As well, he is a really big wall. A lot of Uni decks, like red deck wins, can't get over him. He just puts a brick wall in their path and just obliterates everything. That's why he's holding a badass hammer. The next one, you can't have an elephant without his trusty Minotaur, Boros Reckoner. I am running a playset of them as well. I really like Reckoner. He just basically goes into the game with the ability to deal damage and also keep control on the battlefield. He really takes control, which is really nice sometimes, because they're really trying to push you with like an aggro deck is really trying to push you. You can just drop him, and they have to think about what they're gonna do. He's basically a hybrid card. You can either spend any combination of red or white mana to cast him, and then you can spend a red or a white mana to give him first strike, which is also nice. So he basically works really good in combination with Loxodon Smiter as your 3 drops. Just because they put a lot of stuff in your opponent's path, and I just really like how they work together. Another card I run in the 3 drop category is Silverblade Paladin. This card is really good all around, mid game, late game. It can give you the win when you have absolutely nothing sometimes, just because of the fact that if you soul bond him with either a Smiter or a Boros Reckoner, you're swinging in for a hell of a lot of damage. Especially with Loxodon Smiter, the ideal situation is to set up your Silverblade with a Loxodon Smiter and then swing in for a buttload of damage. The only downside to him is he's a 2/2, so he can usually get taken out pretty quick. People will usually pillar him or aim for him just to keep everything on the board, but that's also good because then it keeps your big guys alive, and they'll be able to swing in again. But I run 3 of him just because I think 4 is too many when I'm already running 4 Loxodon Smiters and 4 Reckoners. And drawing it to a Paladin when you can't understand why. Actually, never mind. I guess it does work out. You can definitely. Maybe I should run another one. I just kind of thought about that, just of how good the card is. So yeah, definitely. I should definitely try to add another one in. Pretty easy to get. I mean, he's not too hard to get, and his price is pretty reasonable. All right, so that's it for 3 drops. For 4 drops, I'm running 2 Huntmaster of the Fells. Awesome story about these Huntmasters. I actually pulled them both in the same pack. I pulled this one as my mythic, and then this is my foil, so it was pretty awesome. Definitely one of the best packs I've ever had. So basically, he's a 4 for a 4/4 in a sense, for the fact that when he enters the battlefield, he gives you 2 life, but then drops another creature. I like him for the fact that he just throws stuff in your opponent's path, and he also helps with the life gain, giving you the ability to gain 2 life, and then when he flips onto his other side, allowing you to become a 4/4 and deal damage to the board, and as well as his trample ability is really nice. Just allowing for a lot of really good plays and putting pressure on. Your opponent has to cast something if they don't want him to transform, so it also kind of forces it into their court. He's definitely a tech card. I'm I've been just arguing, back and forth what I should play for him. There are a couple reasons why I chose him in this deck, and I'll get to that in a second. That's it for 4-drop creatures. The main hitter of the deck is actually this card here, Thundermaw Hellkite. I really like this card, and it works in really great combination with Gyre Sage, just for the fact that you can play Gyre Sage, get your Burning Tree Emissary and Flinthoof Boar off, and then on turn 4 you can cast a Thundermaw for early damage, and then next turn even you could cast a Silverblade Paladin, and then you're swinging in for game almost. So it's an amazing card. Not a lot can take it out. It takes care of flyers, so you can attack without having to worry. It just puts so much pressure on when this thing drops. It basically can own the game. I'm running 2 of them. Might bump it up to 3, but unlike the Silverblade Paladins, it's sometimes can be a dead draw, especially when you're running low on mana and you're not able to cast it. But yeah, he definitely is probably one of the MVPs of the whole deck. Just love the fact that he can swing in for that much damage. Okay, so that's it for creatures. So other spells, I've noticed that aggro decks have a lot of problems with board wiping cards and cards that deal a lot of destruction and stuff. And I really like Boros Charm. I was running 2 of them to begin with, but now I'm running a playset. Just for the fact that it's so versatile. If you need those extra points of damage, it deals 4 damage straight up. It can give something double strike, so if you don't have a Silverblade to do anything, you can play a Boros Charm for 2 mana to give it double strike, and then as well it makes all of your permanents indestructible. So it's just so versatile and so awesome. It has that ability to give you game. I've been able to cast 2 Boros Charms before and end up winning because of it. So I mean, it's definitely an awesome card. It has a lot of value behind it. In my opinion, is definitely one of the best charms in the whole Return of Ravnica block. So it's just super easy to cast, instant speed, especially in a deck that runs a lot of white and red cards. It's just too good not to play. Especially if they're going to wipe your board. You're dropping all these heavy hitting creatures on them, and then all of a sudden they play Supreme Verdict. You're just like, oh no, oh but wait, Boros Charm, cool, everything's alive, and you wasted 4 mana so I can swing next turn. Kind of. It's just a really good card, and kind of comes out of nowhere sometimes, especially when they think that they're okay, and then you can be like, they have 2 life left, and you're like, Boros Charm for game. So yeah, that's one of the spells that I'm running that's not a creature. By the way, this deck is not running a lot of regular spells, and there's a reason behind that. The next one I'm running is Unflinching Courage, 2 of them. I really like this pump spell, just the ability to give something 2/2 trample and lifelink. So let's say you have a paired Loxodon Smiter, he's paired with a Silverblade, you play Unflinching Courage on him, and it's pretty much GG. He's swinging in for a lot of damage, and you're gaining that much more life. So definitely a really good card. You can put it on anything pretty much. I put it on a Voice of Resurgence before, and that puts added pressure onto them trying to kill it, which will actually help you in the long run. So running this over Rancor, just because I like the fact that it pushes more than Rancor does in a sense. The other cards I'm running are 2 Advent of the Worm. I was running 4. I really like this card a lot. but it's an instant spell, so it definitely has its advantages. Being able to drop when they board wipe. If you didn't have that Borrow Shrum to protect, the Advent can drop, and then they're like, oh my god, now I got to deal with this 5/5 with trample. So it definitely hurts them a lot. It's a 4-drop, which is really nice. You can cast it on turn 3 with a Gyre Sage, if need be. It's kind of a nice little surprise for them. I took 2 of the Advents out for 2 Hunt Masters, and the reason why is because of this card here, Domri Raid. I absolutely love this Planeswalker. He is just amazing. There is so much value in him, and I'm really shocked why people don't have a lot of respect for him yet. And in creature heavy decks like this, he just is the nuts. His +1 adds a creature to your hand if you are able to see a creature on the top of your deck. His -2, which a lot of people forget about, it allows you to basically pit fight another creature to make way for your creatures. I love how he combines with Boros Reckoner. You're like, drop a Boros Reckoner, Domri Raid fights, or makes the Boros Reckoner fight. They're 2/2, deals 2 damage to your Reckoner kills their other creature, it deals 2 damage, and then you swing in for another 3. It's just so many shenanigans. And then his ultimate, it's just stupid. Gives it basically, it's like, cool, I'll give you everything, and then I'll win the game. But I'm running 2 of him. I was running 3 originally, but I don't know. I just kind of think 2 is better. It's just you can kind of get to the cards you need faster than him. He's really nice to drop on a turn 2 or 3. So definitely an awesome card. Recommend playing him if you're going for aggro heavy. Just because he's just really good, and I really hope he starts getting the credit he deserves, being a 3-drop. So much value. Alright, that's it for the spells and creatures. So for land, I am running Playset of Stomping Grounds. Really good card. Everyone knows it does. Shocks you for 2, and then you get a red or a green. I'm running 4 Rootbound Crags. Basically comes in tapped if you don't control a mountain or a plains or a forest, sorry, and just gives you that added bonus of having dual lands in your deck. And then 4 Sacred Foundries, another shock land, shock you for 2, and then 4 Temple Gardens, another shock land, and 4 Sun Petal Groves. And then the last 2 I am running are 2 Clifftop Retreats. So basically everything in here, just basic, your standard Naya colors. No basic lands whatsoever. Who runs basics? I guess a lot of people do, but whatever. The awesome part about it is Burning Tree Emissary is not dead with any of the land that you have in here. So you can drop her in a boar or her in a Gyre Sage without having to worry about what colors you have, since she's able to be hybrid. But yeah, that's basically the deck. I'm doing well with it. I've been playing